It was a stormy night in Mobius, with lightning flashing across the sky and thunder rumbling in the distance. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy were huddled together in Tails' workshop, seeking refuge from the wild weather. "I've never seen a storm like this," Tails said, glancing nervously out the window as the wind howled. "It's almost like something's wrong with the atmosphere." "I don't like this at all," Amy added, shivering. "There's something unsettling about tonight." Suddenly, the workshop lights flickered, and the power went out, plunging the room into darkness. Before anyone could react, the room was illuminated by an eerie, green glow emanating from a corner of the workshop. "What is that?" Knuckles asked, his voice tense. They turned to see a strange, old map lying on one of Tails' workbenches, glowing with an otherworldly light. The map seemed to pulse as if it were alive, drawing them closer. Tails, ever the scientist, approached the map cautiously. "I don't remember bringing this here. It's like it just appeared." Sonic, always up for a challenge, studied the map and noticed that it depicted an ancient labyrinth deep beneath the ground of Mobius. The labyrinth's entrance was marked by a sinister symbol, a skull with glowing red eyes. "I've heard of this place," Sonic said, his voice dropping to a whisper. "They say it's cursed. Those who enter never return." Knuckles, his curiosity piqued, crossed his arms. "Cursed or not, if this map found its way to us, there must be a reason. Maybe we're supposed to check it out." Amy shook her head, her instincts warning her against it. "This feels wrong, Sonic. We don't even know what's down there." But Sonic, with his trademark confidence, was already preparing to leave. "Come on, guys. We've faced worse. Besides, if there's something dangerous down there, it's our job to stop it." Reluctantly, the group agreed and they set off, following the map through the storm. The path led them to an ancient forest, where the trees twisted unnaturally, their branches clawing at the sky. The air grew colder as they ventured deeper, the oppressive silence broken only by the occasional crack of thunder. Finally, they reached the entrance to the labyrinth, a gaping hole in the ground, surrounded by crumbling stone pillars. The symbol from the map was etched above the entrance, glowing faintly in the dark. "This is it," Tails whispered, his voice barely audible over the wind. "Be careful, everyone." With a deep breath, they descended into the labyrinth, the darkness swallowing them whole. As they ventured deeper, the walls closed in around them, and the air grew heavy with a musty, decaying smell. The only light came from Tails' makeshift lantern, casting eerie shadows that danced on the walls. The deeper they went, the more they felt a sense of unease, as if something was watching them from the shadows. "Do you guys feel that?" Amy asked, her voice trembling. "It's like we're not alone." Sonic nodded, his eyes scanning the darkness. "Yeah, stay close. We don't want to get separated." As they turned a corner, they came upon a massive stone door covered in strange ancient runes. The runes glowed a sickly green, and the air around the door felt charged with dark energy. Knuckles, ever the warrior, stepped forward and pushed the door open. The sound of grinding stone echoed through the labyrinth, and a wave of cold air rushed out, carrying with it the faint sound of whispers, low, unintelligible murmurs that sent shivers down their spines. Inside the chamber, they saw a large circular room with an altar in the center. On the altar lay an ancient artifact, a black obsidian gem that pulsed with malevolent energy. "This must be the source of the curse," Tails said, his voice barely a whisper. "We need to destroy it." But before they could move, the whispers grew louder, turning into shrill, disembodied voices that filled the chamber. The walls began to shift and twist, forming grotesque faces that sneered and jeered at them. "You shouldn't have come here," one of the voices hissed, dripping with malice. "Now you'll never leave." Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled, and shadowy figures began to rise from the floor. Twisted, nightmarish versions of Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. These doppelgangers had glowing red eyes and distorted, mocking expressions. The doppelgangers attacked without warning, their movements swift and unnatural. Sonic barely had time to react as his shadowy counterpart lunged at him, claws slashing through the air. Tails was forced to defend himself against his twisted double, which moved with unnatural speed, its eyes burning with hatred. "We have to destroy the gem," Sonic shouted, dodging an attack. "It's controlling them." Knuckles fought his doppelganger with all his strength, their punches echoing through the chamber like thunder. "Tails, can you do something?" Tails, dodging attacks from his dark double, quickly assessed the situation. "If we can get close enough, I can use a power surge to overload the gem." But getting close to the altar was easier said than done. The doppelgangers were relentless, their attacks growing more ferocious as the group tried to reach the center of the room. Amy, wielding her hammer, managed to knock her doppelganger aside and rush towards the gem. But as she neared the altar, a force field crackled to life, throwing her back. "It's protected!" she cried out, struggling to her feet. "We can't get to it." Sonic's mind raced, trying to find a solution. Then it hit him. The runes on the door. They're connected to the gem's power. If we can destroy the runes, the shield might drop. With a plan in mind, Sonic and Knuckles broke away from the fight and focused their efforts on the runes. Knuckles smashed the stone walls with his fists, while Sonic used his speed to chip away at the glowing symbols. The doppelgangers fought harder, desperate to stop them. Tails and Amy defended Sonic and Knuckles, holding off their dark counterparts as best they could. The chamber filled with the sounds of battle, shouts, crashes, and the eerie, echoing laughter of the labyrinth itself. Finally, with a final strike, Sonic shattered the last rune. The shield around the gem flickered and then vanished, leaving it vulnerable. "Now Tails!" Sonic yelled. Tails rushed forward, charging his power. He unleashed a burst of energy that struck the gem, causing it to crack and then shatter into pieces. A wave of dark energy exploded from the altar, sweeping through the chamber and dissolving the doppelgangers into nothingness. The chamber shook violently, the walls crumbling as the curse was broken. The group ran for the exit, the labyrinth collapsing around them. Just as they reached the surface, the entrance to the labyrinth caved in behind them, sealing the darkness away forever. As they stood in the cold night air, breathing heavily, the storm began to clear, revealing a sky full of stars. The oppressive atmosphere had lifted, and the eerie silence was replaced by the familiar sounds of the Mabian night. "We did it," Amy said, her voice trembling with relief. "It's over." Sonic nodded, but his eyes were still focused on the collapsed entrance. "Yeah, but I don't think we should come back here anytime soon." Tails folded up the map, now just an ordinary piece of paper, its glow faded. "Let's make sure this place stays forgotten." With that, they turned and headed home, their hearts still pounding from the harrowing experience. But as they walked, a faint whispering wind brushed past them, carrying with it a reminder that some places are better left unexplored, and some secrets are better left buried.